Yeah.
You know, and he backs Israel, and he's going to say Merry Christmas, and
cutting taxes.
Stop
the spending.
Stop the spending. Build our military. Put America first. When I was in Africa, and it was interesting because a lot of everyone I met at the radio station would ask me, "Oh, you like Trump, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Let me tell you why. And I rolled out my thing, and I go, just like you should put Uganda first. Your government should put Uganda first. And when I found out, if they haven't, they'll buy stuff from Kenya. They'll buy stuff from all these surrounding countries. They'll import all this stuff, and it lowers the value of the products that are made in Uganda because you're importing all this stuff. I said, that's the same thing what he said. That's why he wants to put America first. Every country should put their own country first. But and when you put it like that, they go, oh, it makes sense. I said, yes, he's no different than you. I mean, everybody wants to be put first. Anyway, okay, let's all. Theril, can you count to 10 for me? Make sure I got your levels right.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
8, 9, 10.
Okay, Dana.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, and then Tex.
1, 2.
There we go.
3.
Okay, cool. All right, we're set on this side. If you guys on the
Phone's off.
if you guys are ready to go.
Phone off.
My phone is off.
Okay.
My phone is off.
Your phones are all. I just put all this up here. It's good. Everyone's phones are off, which is it's okay. If it goes off, it goes off. That's real life, right? It's real life. If it goes off, it goes off. It's the way it is. At the end of the day, it's a broadcast that wants to hopefully convince people to give you a call when it comes in, ready to buy a floor. And if a phone goes off in the middle of this podcast, I don't think that's going to be the deciding factor whether or not somebody calls. All right, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, I tell you, they jacked that up. All right, let me reset my timer here. All right, 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Welcome to another edition of Believers in Business right here on The Word. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, we appreciate your time. But our mission here on this show is to provide you information that you can go out in the world, be a better person, and provide service and products to you that will actually enrich your life as well. And that's where my friends from Floors to Go, Texas, back on the show. It's been a while since you guys have been in here. Theril,
Yes.
Dana, and Tex joining me. What's up, guys?
Hey, we're just looking forward to
We're glad
all
to
the
be
good.
here.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Glad
Looking
to be
forward
here.
to what we're going to be talking about today.
Absolutely. And as always, we're going to have a lot of information on this show, and we don't want to overwhelm you. So if we miss any of this stuff, or you can't remember, you're in traffic, you're at home, just go to floors2gotexas.com. Floors2gotexas.com. Website's very simple. Or you can even call 817-710-7030. We'll repeat that number throughout the show. But Floors to Go Texas, if you're new to the show and you're not really familiar with what you guys do, let's go ahead and kind of give a real quick elevator pitch of what you guys provide.
Okay, Floors to Go Texas is located over in Haltom City, which is near downtown Fort Worth on Highway 121, Airport Freeway. We're about 5 minutes outside of downtown Fort Worth, actually, and we have both residential and commercial flooring. We have a nice, big, large showroom with carpet, tile, wood, luxury vinyl, resilient vinyl flooring,
Anything that goes on the
sheet
floor.
vinyl.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like 88, 90 displays on the floor.
Yeah, if it goes on the floor, we do it.
If they summon me to a court of law to testify on the size and the diversity of Floors to Go Texas, I'm guilty because I've been there and it's true. You've got it.
Yeah. We were happy to have you over there.
And we change it all the time.
Yeah.
We're the only we're the only store doing Facebook Live videos, educating the public. We also have the ability that you can take a photograph of any room in your home, and you can come up there to our office, and we will quote unquote try on our floors onto your floor.
Well, that's cool.
So you can actually visually see.
Certain manufacturers are working with us on that, but
Wow.
it's a neat thing.
Yeah. So just take a photograph and bring it to us.
I like that.
And you can see You know, if you're going to pick out a hard surface floor, for example, you can see a brown, you can see a gray, you can see a whatever shade a floor comes in.
Because we know we want to make sure that Mama's happy, and whoever makes the choices in all this is happy.
Right.
Because
Well,
if Mama's
Right.
Yeah, we want it right the first time.
Yeah, 'cause we know if Mama ain't happy, what happens?
nobody else is happy. There he goes. All right, what are we talking about today? I know that we've got the holidays coming up. I guess a lot of people start to think about the next year and kind of remodeling the house, and not only increasing the value of the house, but just increasing the this livelihood of this more favorable, livable space.
Right. Today we're going to talk about some of all of that, but we're going to specifically talk about a brand called Mannington. Mannington Mills or Mannington Manufacturer has been in business for over 100 years. They actually celebrated a 100-year anniversary about 2 years ago.
So that makes them 102.
That makes them 102,
Wow.
technically, yes. That's a long time for a company, period. It takes a long time for a
Right.
family business to be run that long.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big record, you know. But just being in business, I thought being in business 14 years was a big record.
You got 86 more years to go.
Yeah.
That was
It
pretty
did say family business.
It did say family business.
Yeah.
But anyway, the reason we're bringing them up is because we are what they call a Mannington One dealer. What that translates into is that we carry every one of their products. They have a very large line. They do both residential and commercials. We have all those products available to us. But in the residential side, for example, they sell hardwood, they sell tile, they sell luxury vinyl tile, they sell laminate. We have access to all those types of products. But what we were going to specifically talk about today is a product that we do stock in inventory at Floors to Go, and it's called the Enduramax.
Duramax. What a great name for a floor, by the way.
Yeah, and
Well, and then I wonder if that dog's name was Max.
Yeah. Well, this is a really funny story.
It is a funny story.
And you couldn't make this up, actually. And you couldn't have. But so what our listeners are about to hear is an actual story. A footnote at the bottom of the screen. This is an actual
and
story.
those on Facebook Live, you can actually see this sample here.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody watching us on Facebook Live.
okay.
Okay.
For those of you watching Facebook Live, I'm going to show you this sample. Does it show up well like text?
Yes.
Okay,
Go
there we
point to
go.
that corner there.
All right. So what you have here is a sample that's actually half the normal size because we cut the good part off and kept it at the office for a sample.
Well, we let
But-
people check out samples and take it home.
Take them home.
And this lady was so embarrassed to bring this one back because it wasn't bought back in the condition she took it in.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dog ate my homework.
We
I
title
love
this
it. That's the
section "The Doggy Ate My Homework" deal. Well, if you'll notice, I mean, this is a nice looking floor. This looks like a real hardwood floor.
It
but
does.
It's one of the newer products called LVT or luxury vinyl tile, and it was designed to replace what we call laminate because laminate, in the short, has been really good for 30 years. It's great for dogs. Because it's very difficult to scratch. The problem is if you got laminate wet, real wet, it would just come apart on you. If you could overwater a plant next to the wall and it would go under there and it would explode.
Or your kitchen area.
Or
Oh, my
yeah, they
goodness.
didn't recommend it in your kitchen or definitely not in a wet area in a bathroom.
Yeah, bathrooms.
So this product, the short story is you can get it wet. Doesn't matter if water's underneath, doesn't matter if water's on top, on the sides, or whatever. This product is basically going to be resistant to any kind of water or moisture. So we loaned this sample out, and the lady was embarrassed because she brought it back and she said, listen, I'm going to offer to pay for this sample because we checked these samples out at no charge. She wanted to pay for this sample because she said my dog started chewing on it and started eating on it when it was at the house. Now, I don't know if the dog was trying to make the dog selection of what he liked or
Yeah, maybe he was making a statement there.
Well, he
was-
did make
Flip
he
it
made a
over
big
and show the
statement.
audience
And
what it looks like.
And
here.
so what happened is on this back side over here, if you look at this corner right here, they have eaten through the paper label with a real pretty photograph. They've eaten through this masonite, which is not really a part of the sample. It's a part that the sample is glued to. But right here on this corner, they started chewing into the actual product, and they ripped. This has a foam cushion attached to
Right.
it. They ripped through the foam cushion. They started ripping or chewing on the very inner core of the product.
And you see teeth marks.
And you see teeth marks.
Well,
if
I'm
you
not
look
quite
close
sure
enough.
Texas dog no longer has teeth.
I would
On
agree
one
with you.
side, on one side, yeah.
And for those of you listening on the radio audience, if you're driving right now, hey, when you finally get home, just go to Facebook, Floors to Go Texas. You can scroll through our page. This video will be right there. You can actually fast forward and read.
There's a toothless dog somewhere in here north.
Yeah,
because
when you
the
flip
top
it
is
over,
nothing.
yeah, when you see this side that's chewed up and you flip the sample over, you can get up close. And I showed this to Brian before we went on the air. You look up close, there's not a tooth mark on the face of this product, which is a testimony to how tough this product is. People say, I want a hardwood floor, but I have dogs. And we go, no, wood does two things. It scratches and it dents.
Did you let the manufacturer rep know about the story?
Yes, I
We
did.
show them.
What would they say?
Who let the dog out?
Of course that's what he said. Oh, I set you up on that one, didn't I? Yeah.
Well, also in the showroom we have quarters, and we will scratch that with a quarter and just scratch it. The quarter is beautiful. It's just shiny all over, and it leaves no marks on it.
Right. The folks from Floors to Go Texas in the studio, you can go to the website, floors2gotexas.com. Floors2gotexas.com. It's a great story.
It is.
It's a true
It's a
story.
true story. That's why it's a good story.
You know,
Check it out.
and I would imagine, is that one of your top sellers?
It has been a very good seller for us this year. It was a new product last year, and we bought inventory on it. We still have a good selection of inventory left, and it comes in about 15 colors or something like that.
Yeah, the ones we keep in stock, their sale price is $4.49. I believe the other's like $5.99 if it's not in stock.
The regular price is $5.99. So it's a good quality product. For someone who's going to stay in their home, enjoy their home, and they want a hardwood floor, but they don't want the problems of hardwood.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because as we go into 2018, a lot of people are considering, should I sell my home? Should I downsize? But I want to remodel my house. What are some of the smart ways I can do this to maximize my investment? And floors is probably one of the simplest things you can do to a house. I mean, I'd rather put a floor down than paint it. I can tell you that right now.
Well, paint and flooring and backsplash. And Theril is living through a backsplash. He just bought a new home and remodeling, and he's changing the whole look of his kitchen with paint and backsplash. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the home we bought was a very nice home, and it already had some nice granite countertops in, so we weren't going to mess with those. But by adding some paint, totally change the look of this room, and by adding just some splash of accent things to the backsplash underneath the cabinets, made a big world of difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of little things that you can do in a home.
Yeah, I have not seen it yet, and Theril's actually installing it himself. So I will have to inspect it, and I'll let you know later how he did on it. But
it's only because I'm thrifty.
You're gonna critique his.
It's a pain to install backsplash.
No, that just
trust
goes
me.
to show you that people that are not necessarily a commercial installer
can still
install a backsplash.
That's true.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it is something you can still do yourself. You just have to have patience, and that's one thing I'm a little short on.
Well, you and I both. What was the paint to match, break to fit? Is that the slogan? Yeah, that would be that's about me.
I've not heard that one.
Yeah. So this past year, a good year for you guys.
Yes, sir. We had a really good year, and looking forward to a really good year in the coming year, because we've made some good hires, and we have some people that are doing a really good job for us.
Yeah,
and by the way,
new Spanish speaking.
let me
say habla español.
We have 3 Spanish speaking
That's all I need.
We have 2 sales associates that are Spanish speaking. Our receptionist is a Spanish speaker, and they all speak very good quality Spanish.
And one of our commercial guys, John. So it's not only in the residential, the commercial area.
Technically, I wasn't trying to overlook John, but yes, we got like 4 Spanish-speaking,
which is nice.
People in our company.
There's a whole segment of the consumers that.
Absolutely, and they need help, and they need floors just like everybody else. So, just let your friends know that we have that service available.
It's not just residential. I mean, we've got commercial as well. So if you're an office manager and you're listening to this, we can help assist you in redoing your offices.
Yeah, nothing says welcome to New Year than having new floors in the break room.
Absolutely.
Or the bathroom.
Or your walk-off carpet into the building to keep all your dirt and everything out of your normal stuff.
You guys, the last time we were together, so glad you brought that up, because the last time we were together, we talked about putting that walk-off carpet in certain parts of your house. And people that are listening right now, we've had some rain, and the weather's, I know personally, when you clean the house and you've got a little bit of rain, the kids come in the next day, they're tracking all kinds of stuff in. Let's talk about this walk-off carpet real quickly.
Well, walk-off carpet technically was really sort of invented for the commercial industry, and it comes in different forms, but a lot of it looks like a sort of a rough carpet, because it can go outdoors or it can go indoors, either one. But it's sort of scratchy, and it has some good charcoaly colors, some browns, earth tone colors. But you'd be surprised if you can get enough area for people to take one or two steps.
It's all you need, right?
It's all you need to be able to sort of clean off their feet. It helps the rest of the interior of your building quite a bit.
Yes.
Well, and something we just did, my son's company's walk off, and they have metal shavings in their outside area, and they were trying to keep their inside clean, and so far it's doing a really good job.
Yeah, they had we solved a problem that they were tracking in from the production area out back.
Sure.
And they have a lot of machinery, and they mill a lot of metal, and you just can't help it. It's a workplace. You track on the metal, you pick it up and track it on your shoes. And when we went there, they had some terribly soiled areas in the immediate adjacent offices where workers would go into the supervisor and talk, and his place looked really kind of bad. We came up with because not all walk-off carpet tiles are the same, or carpets are the same.
I actually had not seen this type of walk-off.
And so we selected this one because it has no loops in it, and loops are key because sometimes the loops hang on to stuff when you're trying to vacuum them out. And this one both cleans it off and lets it be picked up by a vacuum cleaner.
I learn something every time on this show. The anatomy of a carpet loop. So loops can, it's true. And you were schooling me one time about the static that's in your carpet, and it holds all the dust down there. So now every time I vacuum, I'm like getting a microscope down there and checking out everything.
Yeah, the pet protect.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back to the premise of what you guys are all about, because I know that when it comes to having people come in your home and get somebody you trust, and a major investment, doesn't matter how small or large a remodel is, that you're still hard-earned money. Just the biblical principles that are behind your company and what you guys stand for.
Well, we tried to treat people the way we would want to be treated, and honestly, that's been my number one rule from the very beginning. How many of us, we're all consumers. How many times have all of us bought a product and we get to using this product because it's a little complicated, and then you find out, this product doesn't really do what I thought it was going to do, or this product doesn't perform at the level I thought it was going to perform, and had I known that, I would have bought another product that was similar to it, or I would have upgraded to something else had I known this one was going to sort of short fill my needs. And so it's our job. I think it's my job, and this is the way I train our people, is that education, is really the better tool than just good old salesmanship. I mean, anybody can sell you something, but if we can explain it to you so that you can understand it, then you can be a wise spender of your own money. And that's really what we're all about. We want you to understand what you're getting into. We want you to understand, why is it that in one building you can have a $3 hardwood floor and you can have a $14 hardwood floor, all in the same building? It's like, what's the difference? Some people say, they just charge more for the more expensive wood. No, that's not right. They're made different, and we can physically show you why they're made different when you come and you shop for hardwoods. We can actually show you why a particular carpet is more money than another one because of the way it's made, the fiber it has. For example, if it's Stainmaster Pet Protect, it has so many more features.
The weight of it.
The weight of it, and how the Stainmaster Pet Protect products.
Or
anyway,
whether or not Theril installs it or I install it. That's a joke. That's a bad joke. If I install it, $3. If you install it, $14. That was a bad joke. Go on. I'm sorry to interrupt you on that.
It's okay.
One comes up, one doesn't. One stays down, one comes up.
It's okay, but I appreciate that because it is the principle behind what we operate is. You know, it's the golden rule. We want to treat other people the way we want to be treated, and I like for people to explain things to me. I have this personal saying. It's kind of my own bumper sticker, although it doesn't really exist. But it's like I'm never afraid about what you're telling me. It's what is it you're leaving out.
Oh. Look at
you know, because when you go to and you hear a sales pitch, you hear what they want you to hear, but it's also
what are they not telling
me? What is it they're not telling me? And are they not telling me something because of a certain reason? We don't have anything to hide at Floors to Go, Texas. We want you to know what you're getting into. So we try to answer every question you have, and we train our people to ask a lot of questions of the homeowner. How do you live? How many people are in the house? Do you have pets? Do you have children? Do you entertain? You know, we ask a lot of those types of questions. Do you live out in the middle of the country? You tracking in a lot of dirt? What's going on? Do you live in a townhome? You know, not everybody has the same flooring needs. An elderly couple, a retired couple has a different need than a young couple with 3 kids and 2 dogs.
My goodness. Phone number 817-710-7030. 817-710-7030. Simply go to floors2gotexas.com. Do we want to get into some of the holiday questions or things to ponder? Do we want to talk about that or not?
If you would like.
I kind of,
if you like.
Here we are. First of all, Merry Christmas to everybody. And for some reason, if you're hearing this after Christmas, if we decide to play back a show, we hope you had a Merry Christmas. I'm covering it on all four fronts here.
Roll forward and backwards.
Yes. First of all, big plans for Christmas. Staying in town? Are you?
We stay in town. Fortunately, all of our family lives right around here, so we don't have to do a lot of traveling.
Yeah. Dana?
Oh, everybody comes to my house. Mine's the playhouse. It's the fun house.
And I'm waiting for the invite for that too, by the way.
Anytime.
I'm waiting. I bet you. Is she a good cook?
Dana?
For some reason, I see Dana baking some cookies and stuff. I know I've got some fudge here.
Well, Dana, now the testimony is Dana did make this $1 million fudge you hold in your hand.
There you go. And I'm going to break it
open.
open.
I can guarantee you it won't go very far.
Tex,
even though
what's your plans?
should go
Well,
far.
I do not celebrate Christmas. A long time ago, land far away, and specifically Germany, I did some studying and learned some of the truths about Christmas. And it's kind of back to our philosophy at the store. Well, what are you trying to tell me, or what are you? Because I'm not worried about what you tell me. What are you leaving out?
Yeah, what are you leaving out?
You know, we're told that there's this guy Santa that exists and travels the world and gives toys away and everything. And of course, he was tied to a real person. The person's dead now. But are we even telling that to our kids? And then later on, we're telling the kids, no, this guy doesn't even exist, and he doesn't even really do these things.
It's funny.
So how is the stretch from there to? Well, I know you can't see him, but I want you to believe in this.
Well,
guy, Jesus.
it's so funny you bring this up because I listened to listened to a national talk show host just a couple of days ago talk about this, and he saw, and he's Jewish, and he saw no problem in incorporating Santa into Christmas, as long as someone can understand and have faith that there is a God. You know, and a lot of kids will say, "Well, you told me Santa's not real, so is God not real?
Right.
Isn't the God? I mean,
right.
You know." But yeah, I'm with. I see your point on that.
Well, but,
I see.
to back you up on that, it is now that I've known some of the Jewish roots of my faith, I've realized that there are a lot of Jews that say, "Yeah, this time of the year, what a friend we have in Jesus, because these guys are buying my stuff because of this Christmas thing." But I digress to say, well, okay, well, what else is out there besides a non-fictional person named Santa. You know, if we had an item, a symbol, let's just say, inside our church, our business, or our home, that actually belonged to another God a long time ago, who are we, and I say we as humans, who are we to actually say, no, I sanctified this in XYZ manner, and I made it good for God?
Or you mean you're taking an object that we used to be worshiping
Yes,
by pagans,
an object that used to be worshipped
god?
by another pagan god, and we can look this up through antiquities, if you will. Who are we to say, well, that's not right anymore, it's different now? Did we change this? Well, I believe in a God that's never changing, and if that God saw this item being worshipped by another God, and then fast forward another 4,000 years or whatnot, now he sees you trying to use that for him. I don't know, that's kind of like me trying to make something for my dad to eat that he never liked in the first place. I go, no, but I made this.
So, but you recognize Christmas, obviously.
I recognize that it is there, yes.
But
I don't deny that.
But the gifts and all that stuff is not the Santa coming to town and.
Yeah, well, you know, there's so much stuff that's there that's it's incredible. A Christmas tree was a fertility object that was worshipped in Mesopotamia by the ancient god Tammuz, who consequently had a cross as the actual symbol. It's a little loop across the top of the you know, the little Egyptian symbol. But there's a whole lot of stories that are right there. Add that into the story of Osiris, who in Egypt was killed by his brother, put in a coffin, they chopped him into 13 different pieces, yada, yada, yada. They left his male parts somewhere else, and then that's why we have an obelisk out there. And which is why we have little balls on our Christmas tree, if I can say that in the most political way.
This is news to me.
And
I've never
you
heard
know,
this before.
we put the Christmas presents underneath the tree to create us to bow down to it and to bow down to pick it up. But you know, we leave food for other gods. I mean, this is known. We read this in the Bible. We put food out for other gods, and we put milk and cookies out for this guy who walks through fire. I mean, just move one letter and it's not Santa anymore. It's Satan.
Yeah, these are things to think about.
These are things to think about. He's dressed in red.
But we can
there are a lot of kids that go to a mall and they freak out meeting from Santa. Why is that? Is that because they came from heaven closer than we did and they know a little bit more of the truth?
Things to think about right
Things
here
to think about.
on Believers in Business. All right, we've got about a minute and a half left. I want to give the opportunity for everyone to be able to reach out with you guys on social media. Obviously, we're on Facebook Live right now. Facebook's a big platform for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, what we do is we record these shows in Facebook Live, but we also record our educational. We have started recording our educational trainings by our factory reps on Facebook as well, so that people can see them.
Nice.
And they can get an idea of what we'd actually do to train and our staff and keep our staff educated up to date.
Absolutely. The website, floors2gotexas.com, floors2gotexas.com, located in Haltom City, right there on the Airport Freeway. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from Fort Worth, and really from Dallas as well. You're kind of centered right in the middle. It's always fun with you guys. It really is. Thanks for the fudge over here.
You're welcome.
I'm going to have probably a sugar coma here in a little bit because I'm one of these personalities. I'll just eat it all.
I see the bag is cracked open.
and it looks like a rat's been chewing on it too. I didn't even open it up properly. Thanks for us. It's true. Thanks for us for joining us. As always, go to the Word, thewordfm.com. Find out more information on this show and other shows as fine Salem Radio Network, and also go check out floors2gotexas.com. Thanks, guys.
Thank
you.
you.
We'll see you
Thank
later.
you, Ryan.